So in this section, we're going to talk about gathering customer needs. With the Trail Power, at one point I was actually invited to come over and visit a campground and basically learn about how they could, learn about what they do and basically how they could use a product like this. So I visited the facility and I got and basically I got to see the facility that they have. They have a beautiful lake resort. On the lake there's various picnic tables and other things, but the resort is actually quite large. Over here in the diagram you can see that it's over a couple miles or it's about a couple miles in width. The lake is in the middle. There's some remote camping over in this area that's disconnected from here. It means some of the power and electric facilities are minimal in some of these sites. There are some sites that are electric, there are some not. There's property up in this part here that doesn't have any power at all, that they do have some campsites on. And so what they were looking for, and there's glamping sites over here also that have minimal camping. One of the things they noted was that at the campground, they have people that are running their cars just to charge their cell phones. And so they were looking for some option that they could use to charge cell phones. And they actually thought something like this could be very useful and it would work. It's small enough and portable enough that people could carry it around or they could leave it in various vicinities. But because it's small and portable, it also things could happen, that people may try to walk off with it, or they could may not be able to find it, and then how would they know if it's working or not working? So we discussed a couple different things when we went through this discussion. So moving on to the next slide here, met with them, and one of the things that you want to do when you are meeting with a customer, especially if you're working with any type of system. In this case, I actually brought the finished design with them, but I sat with a customer, I described the current system, that I was prepared to listen with an open mind, make sure that they understand what the system currently does, and use the model to help describe it if it's possible. Capture their comments, take time to write them down. Writing them down is always a good idea. It helps them feel that they're being heard. They'll be patient while you're writing things down. And it also just makes you have a record of what was told. Gather any constraints, and then thank them for the time and plan a follow-up conversation. Then you go back and you actually work the model, and that's what we're going to do in these next couple activities. And then we're going to have a follow-on meeting with the customer that would talk about what would be the possible design. And you'd want to at least have the logical model completed so that you could kind of test the boundaries and listen to any issues. So after this first meeting, these were some of the needs that basically came out of it, and these needs are going to reflect what we're going to build. They'd like to have a solution that would work in the remote sections of the park. They cannot be dependent upon Wi-Fi. There's some dead zones. There are multiple networks also, so you can't just set up for one network and basically have it on in that network. It needs to work across entire property. The property is quite large and has hills and valleys and stuff like that, but not too extreme. It is kind of bowl-shaped. It needs to show the state of the charge of the charger, so that you know what the state of it is, so that you know if the devices are essentially working. You need to show the location of the charger, and preferably on some sort of map. You want to have notification that the charger is leaving the property, so that means some type of geo-fence would have to be built into the solution. And you definitely would want to have no maintenance for the entire season, so that'd be more of a reliability requirement on the device, so that you basically could just service them when they're done for the season and then put them back out. So that was kind of the outcome of the results, and we're going to use these needs now in future discussions as we start developing out the model.